documentary named Mother Teresa, and it goes a long way toward explaining why this quiet, simple old woman has become one of the most loved and respected people in the world. For one thing, find out in this movie, she's not so quiet and simple. She comes across in this film as an intelligent, determined, and sometimes very funny woman who was born in Albania, the child of rich parents, oddly enough. She moved to India as an ordinary teaching nun and only got her vocation to help the poor when she was well into her 30s. In the film, we see that the order she founded, the Missionaries of Charity, really do work and live among the poor.
God's love is infinite, full of tenderness, full of compassion. God loves the world through us, you and me. The way you touch people, the way you give to people, that love for one another.
The movie does a wonderful job of capturing Mother Teresa's humanity and her sense of humor.
Somebody asked me, what will you do when there'll be no more poor in the world? And I said, we'll be unemployed.
You know, I have a confession to make, and I guess I might as well make it. I'm one of those people who's been reading for years and years about Mother Teresa in the paper without ever having any clear idea of exactly who she was. The famous Mother Teresa, whoever that is, right?
Roger, there have been parodies of her, you know, on Saturday Night Live. You see this little woman, and they make jokes about her. And, you know, you almost think she doesn't exist. I mean, it's something made up, some miracle. Gandhi's sister.
That's why I was so happy to see this documentary, because it answered a lot of my questions in a very interesting way. I even have to confess that until this movie, I didn't even know she was Albanian. I thought she was an Indian. I mean, to the degree that I thought about it at all. But what I saw in this film was a woman who was not only idealistic and, I must use this word, saintly, but also a very practical and well-organized person, a natural leader whose vision is so clear and concentrated that she started an international movement with almost literally no financial resources. Big business could study this movie for lessons from Mother Teresa in organization and management. This movie was filmed over 5 years on 6 continents by 2 sisters, Anne and Jeanette Petrie, and their film is not only inspirational, but I found it absolutely fascinating.
Well, what is a document supposed to do? Give us information. And boy, this gave us a lot of information. I took notes while I was watching this thing, and she has a fabulous thing about her. You talk about her drive, which is the thing we don't think. We think there's just this saintly little woman, you know, who leads by just being quiet. She says at one point, I had to write it down, she's talking to some of the people working for her. She says to these young people who are going to start to work for her, if you don't have that zeal, pick up and go home. No need to stay. I mean, she could be Lee Iacocca talking to the Chrysler plant and saying, if you can't produce, get out. And so you see the full woman here. You see tragic scenes of her helping people and reaching and touching the people that no one else will touch. And she talks about sacrificing, giving yourself over, turning yourself over, if it means cutting yourself up to pieces. She talks so beautifully and strongly. It is
what you also get in the film is an idea of the movement that she has started, the order that she has founded, because it's not simply Mother Teresa kind of, you know, posing for a postage stamp. It's all of the women who have joined with her and the real work that they're doing, which I found very impressive.
Not raising money, doing work is the concept.
That's right.
And finally, we both appreciated the documentary on the amazing life of Mother Teresa, an inspiring story for the holiday season. A well-made documentary about one of the most charitable spirits of our time. 2 thumbs up.
So the one we both agree on is Mother Teresa, which is opening city by city around the country. You might want to look for it wherever you live.